What's going on, YouTube? Phil Birch back here again with another of the weekly versus series, where I just do a quick game recap with some of my commentary over the top of it to show you guys a little bit of the insight into how certain matchups play and a little bit more in the mind of a good player. Today, I'm going to actually be showing you something a little bit different. Every single video I've put up until now is me winning. I kind of want to show a quick situation of what it is like to have a non-favorable matchup go poorly. So I think fourth kind is Toga's worst matchup. Statistically, by the board, I think it's actually just awful. He puts out a lot of damage. Your backswing is kind of lackadaisical. Usually, you have to string together a longer attack string or get pokes off throughout the game through just having a consistent board. But fourth kind doesn't really allow you to do that. His poking is better. His big kill attack is obviously huge no matter which one he goes through. And there are a lot of things that really have to fall into place to to turn the matchup in your favor as Toga or potentially as any of the other life decks. I haven't really tested those, but I know the Toga matchup doesn't necessarily favor Toga if the fourth kind finds his cards. You're really reliant as Toga on drawing consistent builds. You really want to look for a 5 build on 1 and a 5 build on 2. But even within those 5 builds, you're really looking for cards like Release. You're looking for your high value targets. You need to find cards like Someone with Styles to Ready Itself, Rescue Completed, Encouraging Training Partners. It's a very specific 5 to 10 card or foundations that you really need, which makes the matchup even more difficult because you are such a squishy 7-hand size character, which is why fourth kind falls so well into the meta, is because he can deal with the 7-hand size characters very quickly, very very like efficiently. So let's go ahead and get this the game started. I win the dice roll here and elect to go first. We finish up our mulligans. My hand's looking pretty good. But you'll notice that it's not necessarily the foundations that I told you we are looking for in our initial builds, right? We do get, let's see, we get a 5 build here, right? Or we get a 4 build because we do fail our last card. But our build is 2 wall clings, 1 high value target, 1 self sacrifice. Now that's not super ideal, as you can see, because like our only answer to very fast moves, which the fourth kind's going to throw now with the kick package, is this single copy of high value target. We're really hoping to get value out of that, which is not necessarily always something you can do. Because, like, yes, it counts for 2 cards when committing it, which does help because fourth kind is going to tap our board, but it's not the most helpful. Mitchell doesn't. This is his first game on fourth kind, so he doesn't know he's supposed to build in a weird order, but that's totally fine. He figured it out, or he built them. So, and he plays this on a 5 and checks it. So we're already in a tough spot because we're being outbuilt by the fourth kind. Our discard pile doesn't have any zero discs, which I'm pretty sure I'm checking. So we'll drop our hand, see what we get. Hopefully what we're looking for here on the second turn of the game as Toga in this situation is we are looking to be able to build 5 and hold a high block and a low block. We're looking to build 5, hold a high and a low. Picking the discard pile again, seeing what we got in there, any goodies. Probably have a haymaker in hand. That's the only reason to check that frequently. Would be there's a haymaker in our hand. We're looking for a zero diff to try and potentially get out of this like much worse situation than we are already in by not getting a good build on or good foundations on one with our build. Rescue completed, a good one. You can already see here, like once again, once again we got a bigger build, but we don't necessarily have the good ones, right? So we got a 2 rescue completed out of that. We got Faith Shield, which doesn't do anything realistically. Then we got Tight Lipped and Flay with Our Babies. A lot of non-defensive cards are being built. A lot of cards that we're just going to tap immediately. Like if he activates his fourth kind ability, we're just turning both the zero diffs, face shield, and self-sacrifice sideways, and then we're left with like a suboptimal defense with no copies of release, no summon with styles to ready themselves. Um, Ideally, like the situation is such that you get the fourth kind to use his once per game with Toga, and then you are capable of bouncing back by, yes, you might have to blow up your whole staging area in that one turn, but you no longer have to worry about these stun four threats. So you do get to rebuild, and then you get to continue to build. You get to build bigger. But like, I mean, as I set up for you earlier, we are at a situation where we built four to five on both turns, and we are sitting with nine foundations. This should be a very nice spot. We should probably have a high block and a low block in our hand. So we'll just see. We'll just see what happens from here. Fourth kind very explosive no matter the situation. So it's never really a good position to be in. Because you can never really tell if he's poking, if he's doing this, if he's doing that, if he's doing whatever, you know? So he leads in with a stun attack. So basically, stun five from fourth kind. He activates the once per game, and we're going to tap the ones I said. We're going to tap our 2-0 diffs, the face shield, tight lipped. I think we're looking to keep tight lipped up because we could activate a rescue completed potentially to ready to. But we decide overall, like, just the minus speed is probably fine on the rescue completed. No reason to do anything crazy. Wall cling this because we do plan on blocking it. And this right here is another situation where it was probably not the correct call to waste any cards on the Jolt, right? It's just Jolt. It's not necessarily the most threatening move. But if you could stop 4 damage, he has to do 20 through the next 3 attacks, which is definitely doable, right? Like, that's certainly something he can do. But I'm feeling pretty good. Like I said, I have a high block and a low block in my hand. I'm feeling great about the situation at hand. I'm like, man, no matter what the next, like the last attack is, I should be able to block it. So yeah, there's our high block. Completely block the jolt, take no damage. Show him that was a wall cling, so I don't take anything. See that his hand is actually 50 attacks, which is fucking crazy. Uh, Here's the funny thing. I didn't notice this the first time I watched this. He actually draws high engine kick off of this, which is just so fucking sad. Yeah, he drew high engine kick right off the top. I didn't notice this when watching, when playing against him, because I didn't notice his hand was just like to the camera, very shown. But yeah, he draws high engine kick off of that. That's the saddest thing of all time. That's the world's smallest violin playing right there. But yeah, much ado to take 4 damage here. And then yeah, I mean he just continues to attack, right? Like if you're fourth kind, you draw the moves, you just keep going because what's your opponent gonna do about it? That's the problem with this situation. Like yes, I could have held this block, potentially blocked high engine kick, wasted a little bit more resources to stop 7 damage instead of stopping 4. Um, but like the situation at hand didn't really warrant that, and also he does have lethal either way, I believe. So this is going to be for 7 because why does he need foundations if he's killing me? Yeah, I mean, we take it 11 so far. We go to 9, which isn't, ideal, obviously, at all. So if we had stopped that instead, we'd be at 12. Yeah, no, we were dead either way. We're dead on board for sure. Uh, just because of the nature of this particular attack, right? He drew Excel. Excel is kind of like the boogeyman here, right? Because it's going to make me discard the card I have in hand. So if I don't even draw a mid block, I'm just dead. I'm just dead. He's rethinking his play because Desperate Times can respond to the E, I believe, because it just says anytime your opponent would draw a card or something like that. Um, I believe, or at least that's how we were going to play it because I didn't actually pay attention or read the card. I just asked him what it did. But yeah, I mean, we're sitting here. We're not in the worst position, right? If his attack's not going to be particularly fast. It's going to be 8 speed, which is a lot. Is a lot. Don't get me wrong, but we have -4 on board, plus high value target, plus we had a low block, but we draw a high block and we're dead because this is 10 plus the 11, 21. Yeah, so like even with the situation at hand where we were presented with a large build on both both turns, we still were not capable of fending off fourth kind's attack string. And that's just kind of like the nature of the beast. Could we have played one less rescue completed? That was potentially an option as well. We would have been left with 3 cards here. We could have rescue completed, committed. Like we could have flipped Walkling, committed it with rescue completed, blew up rescue completed, ready the other 2 foundations that were face down because we would have been both Walklings. So this would have been a 8 speed right now. It would have been 6 speed, uh, 4 speed with a 3 up +2, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 3 up. If we check a 3, we pass it because of high value. But also, if the top card of his deck is a 5, he just gets to play Indiscriminate Shock after this, and then we're super dead too. So yeah, that's I mean, that's just kind of the situation, right? Like if the fourth kind of draws the gas on 2, you're just kind of dead. Like this is a perfectly adequate string. He started with 3 of these, and he drew 1 extra card, or he drew 1 card to hit into this. So he had a 4 card opener, and I mean, he had a 4 attack opener, and then it just led to this, you know. But yeah, anyways, dudes, that's like I said. That is just a situation where you are even in a potential spot where you should be favored via what you did. Like your game plan is solid. You should be favored potentially based on that situation, and still losing because hey, that's just how it goes sometimes. Anyway, dudes, thanks for watching another episode of the Versus Weekly series. I know a couple episodes have been Toga in a row because I've been practicing for Orlando, and these are gonna be a little bit backlogged. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Please be sure to hit the like, hit the subscribe button, turn your notifications on, leave comments, guys. I want to hear if you are enjoying the videos, if you're loving the videos, what you do and do not like about the weekly versus series. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it from me, and hopefully see a lot of you guys in Orlando.